Hey, welcome YouTubers. Cooper's Automotive. 2005 Honda Element, 4-cylinder. Most of them are. We had to put lower control arms, tie rods, and ball joints on this car. So that's the job we're going to do. I'm going to try to explain it the best way that I can. I hope you enjoy. Stay tuned. All right, first off, because we're doing bottom ball joints, we're going to take this CV axle nut out here. I'm going to probably do some extra things that I don't have to do. But I'm going to get everything sprayed and lubricate it. This is Worth's Rust Off Max. Been a few years since I've used it. I'm going to give it a shot. You're going to need a 32 mil. First off, take that big nut right off of that CV axle shaft right there. I'm just going to use my small impact gun. I was beginning to wonder if that was even going to work. Now once you've removed that, we want to make sure that this shaft moves fairly easy. I don't want to hit on these ends too hard, but I just want to tap on a little bit. And it is budging. We're going to give it a little bit more rust off ice. This kind of gets cold. And really got a good smell to it. If it didn't move, you'd have to get something to press that out of there with, or get something to hit right in the center, roll pin punch or something like that. I'm going to pull this brake off and put it off to the side. Now we've got the line going right here, and this is a 12 mil. I've already got it loosened up. I'm going to take this little bolt out right here. Once you've done that, you got 12s on each side of this for your caliper. And I'm using an impact gun for pretty much all this job. After we remove our caliper, like this, get it hooked in so it doesn't fall, hang it right there on your strut. Now from there, I'm going to go ahead and go after this tie rod in and remove it first. We got the 19 millimeter. Removes that. Then from there, we're going to try to knock that out of there. Didn't move. Going to hit it here. Could use a pickle fork, which I can use a pickle fork on it. I'm just going to tap on it right here and see if it moves at all. Lost one of our brake pads there. We're not trying to save these tie rods, so there's a tie rod tool to take those out. I think mine needs to be replaced. I think it's broken. I'm going to just use a pickle fork and a hammer. I've got the air one, or you got just one that you can use with a hammer. Let's see if we can separate it that way. That was easy enough. So Lyle, pickle fork size gets that out of there. Now the nut on the back is a 24 on that tie rod end. You'll need to twist that out of there. We'll count the turns even though we're going to do an alignment. I'm going to penetrate this one with some Kimball. The Kimball penetrating oil smells like chewing gum. Now, if I just break that nut loose a little bit, it also gives you a stopping point. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 10, 10 and a half. And that gets rid of a tie rod. Customer ordered these parts, TRW parts from Amazon, and the bags don't have any part numbers on them. So I'm not able to give you the part numbers. TRW is not a bad product. For a difference in color, one's like silver, one's black, one has a grease fitting, and one does not. Okay, that should be pretty close. I'm leaving that nut on there so I don't lose it. But we've got our tie rod out. Right there's your ball joint nut sitting right here. I assume that's probably the same as the tie rod, a 19. Usually there's a keyway in it. This one does not have. Oh, it's not a 19, so that assumption would have been wrong. We're going to try 17, possibly. Here, you got a sway bar link sitting right here. That's a 16, and then it's got an Allen head in the end of it, which is, I think, 3/16 is what I'm using, if that's correct or not. I'm not real sure that size is exactly right, but it will hold. Just in case you have to hold the stud in there. So right here is where I'm working. And so far it's not turning with us, so we're in pretty good shape. If we want to speed things up a little bit, getting it out, we just do this. Once you get that nut out of there, your sway bar link's ready to come out. Now we're going after the ball joint right here. I may need a bigger pickle fork for that. May not. Let's see. I actually think that same pickle fork will work. Oh, she hasn't moved yet. Now she did. So the same pickle fork that you use for your tie rod in. I'm sorry, I'm mid-thought here. Pull down on your arm, and you're going to push out on your rotor. You might want to get a pry bar underneath there. Get in between it to get some leverage. And then we should be able to slide our CV axle out just like that, laid off to the side. The ball joint presses into the bottom right there, right here to the bottom. So you're going to need a ball joint press tool, and we also need to go after our lower control arm and get that out of there. So what you're going to have on that lower control arm is right here, a bolt that goes through, and this is solid, and I believe that's a 19 mil on that. Let's go ahead and remove it. I'm just laying all the bolts and things on my lift here. Now, once that one's removed, there's another one. Right. Well, let's see. Let's look at this visual moving around is just for you. Another 19 sitting right inside there. If you can get your CV axle up high enough, might be able to get that same short impact, but it's a 19 mil going through there, right there, and there is not enough room. So from there, what we'll do is take a 1/2 inch drive, long ratchet, get on that nut, and it's not real tight. So again, a 19, and I believe after you break that loose, then you can get a Milwaukee, get a 19 socket to keep you flat raters going, and take that out of there this way. There's our other bolt. Once you remove those, this arm will slide forward and come out. Let's pause while I try to find my adapters so we're not just taking up so much time on this video. I've got it out of there. It was not the easiest thing in the world because right in between here is really tight of an area when that's sitting down in there. I had this piece underneath the bottom to fix that with the press underneath here and pushed it up. Once I got it most of the way up, I just hit it with a hammer and knocked it out. Going back in should be preferably a lot easier. In my case, I'm just going to use the press and this piece. There we are. A 22 on my tool. And things to kind of move around here. So I don't like to use an impact gun when I'm pressing something in. So I used a little one. And we should be okay. So she bottoms out. And your ball joints in. So there's a ball joint installed. You got that. This Amazon number. Let me see if I can get that in the camera. Right there in REPH 281408. Biggest part you see here when you're putting this in is you want to get this straight. And sometimes to do that even, I will remove the whole spindle. But I don't think I'm going to have to do it in this case. These sway bar links are also bad on this vehicle. Let's see where we're wedged at. Right there. I'm going to tap it just a little bit with my hammer, a small hammer, on the top. I'm going to get this one right here lined up. I'm going to put a screwdriver up through the hole. See if that will move it. Let's get us a bolt. Find our 19 again. I'm going to start with my Milwaukee here. And I can see we need to go back some more. Hang on. And again, trying to get this thing to go up. Not tightening that one up all the way. We got to get this back side in right back here. Pretty close. Get our 19. And again, I'm not going to tighten it all the way until this is on the ground. This side does not matter. That side does. You don't want to twist your bushing out of there prematurely because you tightened it. Let's check this with our handheld ratchet. We are in. Now, of course, we've got to get our ball joint in there. Pull that back. Get our CV axle started. This side needs to be level. whole lot easier. All right, between phone calls and stuff, now I got the bottom ball joint nut on here started right here and in there. And so we got a lower control arm in now. We're not going to put the sway bar link in there yet because I'm getting a new pair of sway bar links. There's just another 16 on the other side with your Allen inside of that. And then you know that up top, right, up here, and then the other side. I lowered the car to go ahead and we were showing that tie rod end on there. And got it in there. Just a castle nut on that. All right, brake pads are back on. Clean that up a little bit on our rotor. And so we are sliding our caliper on. Those were 12 mils on the back side of that. Put our hose back up in here. Like I said, once I go to the alignment, I'll tighten up the rest of the front end. Got to run this in and torque this to 180 foot-pounds right here. $180. We just need to bend this tab and it's right back where it was originally. Pretty much one side completed. Okay, getting back into the driver's side R&R here. Your 19 tie rod. Pick a fourth release. Choose out. Your brake caliper 12 millimeter. Brake line 12 millimeter over there. CV axle bolt. Pull the brake pads out so they don't fall out. And sway bar link off over here. Tie rod's already out. Bottom ball joint nut comes off. Lower your control arm. Slide your CV axle out. Going right after those 19 mil bolts on the lower control arm. One on the back side. Here. All right, that control arm should come out of there. And it did. I'm going to go ahead and take the sway bar link out on this side because I got more room for that control arm out to remove it. We got our apparatus hooked up for pulling out our ball joint here, and let's proceed with that. I'm trying to hurry because my batteries are going dead on everything. There we are. Let's get our new ball joint. There's a bottom bolt. We got to get lined up, those two bottom bolts. This one through here. Okay. Right behind this light down in here is that other 19. Okay, I'm concluding this video slowly but surely. I had to recharge batteries on my phone and stuff, cameras and everything, speakers, whole 9 yards. So I've got grip pads in. I got to put the caliper on. I got the sway bar links in up here. This is not tight on our lower ball joint yet. These are in on our sway bar. I mean our lower control arm. Run that in most of the way and stop. Well, let's see, are we on here? Yeah. All right, we got it. Pin that in. Let's get our tie rod screwed on right here and our old one off. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, about 16. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. About right. I'm waiting for some clips for my brake pads right here, and I'm gonna put my caliper on, line it up. So I just got to put the caliper on here, bolt this up, tighten that, put the keyway through it, tighten up the bottom ball joint nut, and put the keyway through it. For the sake of batteries and all that kind of stuff, I'm sorry I'm not going to conclude everything in this video and waiting on parts. So say our goodbyes. 2005 Honda Element, lower control arms, outer tie rods, and lower ball joints installation. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. It was a little tough one to get through, but I think we made it. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching.